Hello and welcome to Footy Rants. I'm Benny Matthews and this is Z Catho. We're back again. It's like I said, week after week. The more that we get to engage in these conversations, I think I know it's a lot more fun for me. I'm sure it is for you as well, being a part of something. So, yeah, wow. We're up to round 3 already. It already seems like the season's off to a bit of a flyer, right?
Has been, mate. There's been a lot happening.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the exciting thing about this season because there has been so many changes across each individual club. There's been so much mystery.
Yeah, there has.
And you've only got to look at my fucking tipping scores to realise how much fucking unknown there was. You know, we call ourselves genuine fans of the game, and you look at that and we seem like complete novices. And it seems to be that the girls who pick their favourite jersey colour are doing better at the moment.
Definitely.
But yeah, the first 2 rounds, like what's your sort of take? Who have you been impressed by? On an individual level and a club level, I suppose.
Okay, that's easy. West Tigers.
Yeah.
They've been the big impressors so far this year. Coming out and beating obviously 2 of the premiership favourites in successive weeks.
Yep.
Just the way they're turning up for each other. I don't know whether that's come from Benji Marshall being there as well. They just seem like they've got a really good team spirit at the moment. So,
Yeah, bro.
and individually, some standouts to beat a Pangai Junior, especially on the weekend. But he's real. Yeah, he's killing it at the moment.
Yeah.
And I saw Tamalolo give him a massive rap as well.
Yeah, and that's what I felt like the drive came from. Was obviously the influence that was there from the World Cup being in that Tongan side, and you know he didn't play a lot of footy for Tonga.
No,
you know, he was left out of the 17 a lot of the time, and yeah, obviously the leadership aspirations that he would have gained
absolutely
from playing with someone like Jason Tamalolo, who's got 2 grand finals under his belt now. Yeah, it was quite obvious that he made it a point to go and fix it.
Yeah, he
did with great success. I think I said in the review, Tamalolo ran for almost 50 metres less than round 1.
Yeah, right. Shut him down.
Yeah, man. Anytime you're taking away those sort of metres off an influential player like that, it's fucking it's any wonder he's getting the raps that he is for that performance.
Big things coming for him.
But yeah, back to the Tigers. Just quickly. Benji Marshall, winding back the clock, eh?
Mate, yeah.
And he just seems like he's got a bit more of a renewed competitive spark.
Yeah.
You know, just in that post-match interview with the Fox Sports team.
Yeah.
Saying that he really wants to make sure that he defends the jersey. And they're sort of talking to him about Josh Reynolds coming back, and he's got to stand by whatever the decision is, whether he's even in the 17, but he's playing. Exactly. He's not like, I'm just here for the team and do what's best for the team. It was good that he said straight down the line, like, no, this is what my fucking intent is. Yeah, I like that.
Well, I like the point that Paul Kent made the other night, I think it was, on NRL 360, basically saying that, we're saying that Benji Marshall's winding back the clock, but I think he's actually turning a new page and actually actually grown. So we're actually seeing a different Benji Marshall to one that we've ever seen. So it's not actually him going back and being the old Benji. He's actually
exactly right, because he doesn't have those physical capabilities anymore.
So he's finding a different way to become better. Yeah. And you're right, it does look like he's got more competitive spirit. And I think that maybe, like at the end of that season there at the Dragons, he was really down and you could see he was lacking in confidence.
Yeah.
He came to the Bronx, he got a good half a little chance there. He probably got some really good wise words from Wayne Bennett. And this season,
he's given him a rap. I know that.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, so he's just come out this year, and I love seeing him succeed. I love Benji. So
do you think there'd be something a little bit nostalgic for him going back to the Tigers that he's sort of drawn on a little bit too? Man. You know, like give back to the club.
Heck yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, definitely, and the fans will love him too. You know, so I think it's really good. It's a really good story.
And I guess before we get into the preview for round 3. I want to ask a few other questions about some of the latest stories. We were having a bit of a chat about it before the podcast kicked off with the attitude to losing. Parramatta come under heavy scrutiny. You know, they were sort of laughing and smiling with a lot of the mates that they've obviously got across the 2 different clubs versus the Storm side who are absolutely devastated after losing Billy's 300th.
Yeah.
What's your sort of take on how, like, is there a way that you should react to losing? Were you very, I guess as a football fan, were you concerned to see their reactions like that? Okay.
Yeah, I was concerned, but only because I wouldn't be reacting that way.
Okay.
But everyone's different. I don't know if there is a right or wrong way to react or to sort of react in that situation.
Yeah.
But I don't think that reacting in that way is what they I don't think Brad Arthur would have been too happy with that.
Yeah.
I think Brad Arthur is the type of coach, though, that lets the players be who they are and lets them express themselves and be who they are. And he knows that he's got a lot of young, exuberant players in that team. So he's got to let them be themselves. But I think then there still needs to be that edge of competitiveness, because when you've got teams like the Storm, who are the benchmark, you don't have to copy them, but I think you've got to take some of their...
There's reason as to why they're responding like that and correlated with their results.
That's right. It's serious. Like, the fans weren't happy. The fans weren't cheering or laughing about it. The fans were pissed off, and they still will be. So
and to defend Parramatta a little bit more, we only got a snapshot of a few players. I think it was Bevan French, Josh Hoffman, and there might have been someone else in there too.
Right.
Like, I'm sure you could have found a Parramatta, like, show me Tim Manor.
Yeah, he would have been.
He wouldn't have been fucking laughing. No way. So,
no, especially because he's got to go then face the media
exactly,
in the press conference after that.
And there's no smiles when fucking Brad Arthur would have fucking peeled strips off him in the sheds afterwards either.
That's right, and all this week.
Yeah, we've got something there already. What do we got?
Yeah, knowledge. Okay, good. Always.
Yeah. What did he say? Is that Chuck Wise?
Yeah, knowledge is equal to head girth. Keep it up, lads. That's where it comes from.
I can't even come up with something quick enough with the ability of your fucking ball handling skills, Lockie Wise. There's 2 weeks in a row I get to hose you. That's what I love about this. I don't even get paid and I still have fun. For anyone watching who doesn't know us personally, our mate Lockie Wise, he's dead set got hands closer to like feet of a primate. But I think primate's feet would be fucking better in catching a rugby league ball. To be fair,
a primate that's been swimming in butter for the last half an hour.
Yeah, Joe Biondi. Yeah. Alrighty, let's re-steer the ship. So let's get into. I think we've discussed a few little things that I want to tick off. Actually, what's that? What were we talking about earlier? We were talking about the racism.
Yes.
With the whole the Greg English, I want to have a little bit of a discussion on that, and sort of, if anyone is watching, get your opinions as well. I thought Paul Kent, who I guess I would say probably 75% of the things he says I don't necessarily agree with.
Yeah.
And it's not even, I guess, the things that he says. It's the delivery. It's almost like that aggressiveness. Like I'm a journalist. This is me. This is my world. You fucking step in here and you're gonna get fucked up. Yeah. He's always bagging Wayne Bennett in the games that Broncos play. It's the monopoly that happens. Imagine if there was one club that came out of Sydney, it'd be a fucking riot.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, But yeah. To get back to, if you haven't heard, you've obviously had your fucking head under rocks. There was a racial slur allegedly from a Penrith supporter against Greg Inglis when he came off.
Yeah.
And Penrith have come out and said, look, they're going to stamp down. They're attempting. Well, they know roughly where in the stadium that person was sitting. Apparently, it might have been some sort of membership thing. So they've got a list of names, and they're trying to. Yeah,
they'll end up finding out, because there'll be enough people that were sitting around that would have heard it.
Surely someone's going to dob in. Everyone wants to be that hero,
Yeah.
So off the back of that, Paul Kent sort of said it was quite interesting. We've got someone with the criminal history of Matt Lodge come back in the game, and the premise was let's return him through rehabilitation, through the lens of rehabilitation. Yet we want to put this fan's head on a stake.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite an interesting point, and I think we were sort of both in agreement that. Yeah, perhaps if they do find this person, can they offer some support?
Yeah, that's right. Like, it's not just a case of, all right, you're banned, never to be seen again at a game. That's not going to help him. It's not going to change anything.
Yeah.
I think banning the person from the game for a period of time is mandatory, but also saying, well, what's going on, man? Like, what's causing you to be like that?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it, to be honest, comes down to the team pack mentality when you're in those environments. Like, look at English football.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like, there's that much passion behind it, and they fucking lose their mind.
Yeah.
You look at that girl a couple of years ago with the whole Adam Goods calling him a monkey and stuff at the AFL, and she was fucking obliterated in the media, social media. And, hats off to Goods, who came out and defended her and said, look, no, like, this is an education thing. Like, she's a 13-year-old girl. She's got no idea what the fuck she's doing.
Right. Yeah,
just caught up.
Just spraying her isn't gonna.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know the race of the person who said this. We don't know the age. We don't know the socioeconomic stat. Like, there's so many factors that sort of go into this. It's a very interesting take, and it will be. intriguing to see what happens. You know,
From
I dare say it's just going to be a ban. And
We won't hit too much about it.
why would Penrith want to waste their resources with something that they're just going to get wrapped for across 90% of fanhood to say, oh, good job, we got rid of him. You know,
that's right.
Yeah, what do Boise say there? Something fucking stupid
about
about
Storm. I think he just doesn't want us to jinx him this week, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, Boise's a massive Billy fan. So we're coming up against each other tonight, Boise. Mate, I wouldn't be too disheartened. We might as well kick it off. It's the first game for tonight. Yeah. Storm and the Cowboys, grand final rematch. Look, there's a lot of toing and froing across both sides. An unchanged lineup from Craig Bellamy, which I guess, it shows good faith. They lost the game by 2 points, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
In
the dying minutes.
Yes, exactly right. But I guess that is a little bit more of the disappointing thing. The fact that they did finally hit the lead and it was like, Storm do what the Storm do. But then all of a sudden, Tigers did what the Storm do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was quite an interesting contrast. Whereas the major changes for the Cowboys, it appears as though, and still, I don't think it's been 100% confirmed as of yet, that Michael Morgan will come and return at 6. And Tamari Martin goes back to the bench with Ben Hampton still remaining in the 1 jersey, with Lachlan Coote still another week away from that hammy niggle. Javid Bowen still remains in the centres. Kane Linnett out for an extended period of time with that pec injury. Yeah, what are your... Oh, and also Cohen Hess starts in the back row with Ethan Lowe going back to the bench. What's your initial gut feeling, mate? Where are you seeing the strengths and weaknesses across the board for both sides? Where's the game won and lost?
Look, I think the Cowboys, first of all, I think they should play Morgan at fullback. I reckon they should just give it a good crack.
Yep.
It's not that different to a 6 in attack, and they've got Tamari Martin there, and you've got another half there as opposed to Ben Hampton, who isn't a fullback. Why would you want to play out of place at fullback? He hasn't really. Last week he didn't play very well. He got himself in some little stupid situations.
Yeah.
I think you throw Morgan back there, and you just got to. That way you've got a 3-headed attack instead of a 2-headed.
Yeah.
And
especially with a body like that playing in the line, pretty much with what the Sharks have now decided that they're going to do with putting Dugan back there again.
Yeah, exactly right.
I like it. And Ben Hampton, he's well accustomed to playing second fiddle to Jake Granville since he's been at the Cows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hampton on the bench. He's a great utility on the bench.
Do you think it's just a ploy, and that perhaps that they will start with that? Or?
Look, they did speak to Paul Green about it, and he said that he's not ruled it out.
Yeah.
He said he hasn't ruled it out, so it could happen. I don't think he's going to do it. I think they probably will stick with it, with what they've got there. But if it was me, I'd probably chuck Morgan back there just to give him a crack, mate, as fullback.
Yeah, because I think we saw the best of Michael Morgan when Jonathan Thurston wasn't there.
Yeah.
And if we take our minds back, the best form that he was in prior to that was when he was playing fullback.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, true.
So, is Michael Morgan's best football with Jonathan Thurston at 1? I mean, I know they won the premiership with him at 6 and Thurston at 7, but that's with Lachlan Coote in the front.
And that was when Morgan was less developed.
Correct.
He's now got more of a profile, and maybe it's better with Jonathan Thurston being the dominant half and you have Morgan at the back.
Yeah.
And he chimes in whenever he wants, and he's got a really good game sense now as well from playing 7. He knows when to inject himself, I think
it's the interesting thing. A lot of people sort of think that Michael Morgan's just sort of only exploded over the last couple of years as far as actually just physically playing. He's fucking debuted when he was 18.
Yeah, and what is he now, 26 or
the same
something?
age as us. Yeah. He's been around for almost a decade already.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's been around. It took him a while. Those first 3 or 4 years were a real grind, and they really cycled through those halves partners. Obviously Ray Thompson, Robert Louis.
Oh, yeah, Robert Louis.
Yeah, there was a few that they went through before they settled again with Michael Morgan. So, yeah, the defensively for me, I think the big liability for the Storm again is still Brodie Croft, and I think I'm gonna continue to say it much like I did last year for it was initially the Tigers with Mitchell Moses until he moved to Parramatta, and my boy Bumper taught him how to fucking tackle at Parramatta. He's been a lot better since then. He's obviously gotten a lot bigger, but I think
he's got a lot bigger.
Yeah, but not having Kafusi there either, and Joe Stimson is still acclimatising to full time. Like, you know, he's far from a genuine starting NRL player. I think he's definitely going to get there.
No, yeah,
for sure.
Right now, though, he's only what's he played? 20 first grade games, something like that.
Yeah.
He's a great player. He's solid, but he's not Felice Kafusi.
No,
it's different. It's just a different style.
Yeah, Felice Kafusi is on the verge of regular Origin.
Yes, he is.
Appearances.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. So that, for me, that's where I'm going. I'm playing that left edge. I'm trying to strip him for numbers and then make sure that we've got numbers pushing up there, especially, you know, that edge you've got Antonio Winterstein. Like, I think even just playing to an edge and bringing him back underneath and testing the tie-in from the Melbourne Storm, it's going to be interesting.
I think we'll see the Cowboys forwards really lift this week, though, because they honestly got stood over last week by the Broncos. They really did. Yeah. And when you got the likes of Taumalolo, Matt Scott, Jordan McLean. Like, Jordan McLean still had to prove himself for the Cowboys as well.
Correct.
So, you know,
and coming up against his old club.
And the fact,
fire.
That's right. And the fact that they put Cohen Hess in to start as well says to me that they really just want to get out there and punch hard early. Speed. Yep. Yeah. And that's why you got to play against the Storm, I reckon. It's the only way. Yep. Speed and direct.
Yep.
So I reckon you'll see a much better performance from the Cowboys forward pack this week. Yep. And I reckon it's going to be a lot closer than some people probably think.
And I'm actually keen to young versus old, Hoffman versus Cohen Hess.
Yeah, true that.
Really good to see. So
absolutely.
Yeah. What's your gut feel, mate?
Gut feel is actually with the Cowboys. I'm going to go Cowboys by 1.
Nice.
Yeah.
I actually hope, and I guess that sort of echoes the sentiment of the first couple of rounds, even though I was clearly disappointed with the loss to the Broncos last week. It was just good footy.
It was good footy.
I love watching good games, even though the Storm lost, and, you know, having spent time there, I've got a soft spot for watching and enjoying the Storm's style of play. It was just a good game to watch against the Tigers.
Yeah, it was.
You know, the Raiders and Knights, that was a fucking great game of footy. Like, it was just entertaining. And I think that's been the good part, is like, you've got the diversity, whilst there wasn't, you got the sort of diversity in high scoring matches because of the fragility of defensive structures in clubs like the Raiders and the Knights at present. But then you've got a low-scoring game with the Storm that grinded out.
Yeah.
You know, you've got powerhouse teams in the Cowboys and Broncos that go shot for shot.
And they always seem to score around about the 20-point mark against each other, which is strange.
Yeah, it is odd, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the grand final was 17-16, but other than that, I think every other game has been up around the 20.
Yeah.
I think it's been 21-20 twice.
Yeah, last year. Yeah, that's right.
The last 2 years, the 4X Derby has been 21-20.
Is the great Hamilton Steel on there? What do we got?
4 a.m. I'll hang around for 2 huge humans.
What's Righty got for us? Cows Edge defence.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, got exposed. Yeah, and I think Cuts already sort of touched on it, Righty, with bringing Cohen Hess in there. Is probably just a little bit more exuberance early on.
Yeah.
But then, you know, you're fucking far from losing anything from Ethan Lowe.
No, that's right.
Bringing him back on. And perhaps do they send... leave Cohen Hess on there and push him in the middle.
Yeah, well, he's big enough, isn't he?
You know, who knows? So it'll be interesting to see what that rotation of the forwards is, where they go straight, straight swaps. So, I think I'm gonna just out of pure loyalty. Go with the Cows. But I really like the potential. But I would also like to see Brodie Croft come out and put a great defensive display on.
Yeah, and you know what he may as well, because the criticism, it happens all the time. Players cop a lashing by the media and whatnot. And
he's got the best fucking experienced players around him, you know, the likes of... And even... I guess that's probably what Ryan Hoffman's role this whole week would have been doing, is talking to Joe Stimson on his fucking roles and responsibilities in looking after. So look for a big game from Joe Stimson tonight too. Yeah, so those two really need to stand up. I think that's where the most pressure lies for the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty, we're in agreement there. Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs up against the Penrith Panthers. A few key changes for the Bulldogs. We see Jeremy Marshall-King, younger brother of Benji, get his first starting NRL cap. So this is only his fourth game of NRL now. A lot of responsibility to take on for the young kid. We see Matt Frawley completely dropped. And I guess that probably echoes back, right, if you're still watching Champion, that some of the questions that you're asking about the Bulldogs' attack last week. Obviously, Dean Pay agrees there needs to be some sort of change. And I was sort of arguing that Frawley and Foreign are a little bit too similar.
Yeah, but you did say that. Yeah, we spoke about that.
So it'll be interesting now. We haven't really seen, or I haven't personally seen, what Marshall King offers at 6.
I think there's a really big trend at the moment with having this idea of having a dominant half.
Yes.
And having like a second, like a, someone that's sort of just in a supporting role. And it seems to be working though.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what Dean Pay is going for here is with Jeremy Marshall-King. Just letting Foran run the whole show.
Yeah.
And Foran loves to play so direct on the back of really good forward play. But
Yep.
So the forwards for the Bulldogs really need to pump up. They really need to improve.
So which we got Woods and Clemmer.
Woods and Clemmer, man.
Yeah.
They're too busy bloody
because
tugging
Josh
each other
Jackson
up.
is, let's face it, he's fucking cleaning up everyone's fucking work.
That's right. And he always does.
Yeah.
He always does.
Which is why he's got the reputation that he does.
And he's a captain
as
well.
Yeah, exactly right. But they've also got Moo Brown that comes onto the bench, and we were sort of discussing before we started airing that Moo Brown may potentially come on at either 9 or 6, depending, I guess, on the flow of the game.
Yeah, I think they're just going to see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
We've just got a question here from Righty. If Josh Clearland was healthy, he would have got a start.
100%.
I'm not too sure about him.
Yeah, so he comes from the Ipswich Jets system, actually played in that national final a few weeks ago. Yeah, I agree, and spent some time at Cronulla.
What position does he play?
He's a 6.
Oh, he's a 6.
Yeah,
right.
he's a 6. And a bit of a running 6. He's quite a physical body too. So yeah, I think you're right, Righty. I think if he is fit, he probably gets the start. But I guess that is the unfortunate part of rugby league. You're not always there to get your opportunity. And because of that injury, he may, if these guys perform all of a sudden, it just rules you out straight away.
Yeah.
It's the same, I guess, we saw at the end of last year. Kaiser Pritchard started so well for Parramatta, gets injured. Cameron King gets his start, plays really well, and then they don't bring Kaiser Pritchard back in because they were happy with what was happening.
That's
so
right.
it's just the unfortunate side as every single club.
Tom Opacek as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which we'll get to for sure. But yeah, I guess the big changes for Penrith, Dallin Watine-Zelezniak with a broken jaw. I'm assuming at training. I don't believe it happened in the game against South. So out for 4 to 6 weeks, and we'll see. It's even though we don't have it on the notes in front of us. Christian Crichton comes into the team on debut. I don't know too much about the playing career. I assume he sort of come through the 20s system and played a bit of New South Wales Cup. So yeah, a 21-year-old, 100 kilos, 6 foot.
And he said he was an Islander bloke. He's not related to Angus
he's actually
Crichton at all.
born in Samoa. Yeah.
He's not related to Angus Crichton.
No.
His last name is spelled exactly the same.
Yeah, so
which confused me at first. But
so it'll be interesting to see. Apparently, a lot of comparisons have been made with Josh Mansell.
oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, it'll be interesting because I feel that Mansell and Zelezniak contrast each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
yeah,
it's sort of like
definitely.
what the Cowboys
Mansell's
have
power.
in Winterstein and
Felt.
Felt. You know, it's quite opposite.
Yeah.
So they're the obvious changes. Maloney's got to figure out what his roles are. I was saying in the review, it's almost like Moylan and Maloney tried to play the things that worked for them at their previous club and haven't adapted quite enough to fit their new roles.
Yeah, that's
at the new style of play. I guess functionally, it's just executing a little better for Maloney. There's a few loose passes and whatnot, and yeah, I don't know if he's a bit off put by Cleary being so comfortable with being like, this is my show, like I'm sweet, man. Like he's no doubt learning things off James Maloney, like he's a fucking seasoned vet, but he doesn't seem overawed at all by anything. It's crazy, this new breed of young NRL star.
Maloney though as well, it's very rare for Maloney to be ever off mentally as well. Like Maloney's he's so confident.
Yes.
And so it's strange to see him a little bit out of sorts. But like you said, it might just be because Cleary is so good, and
maybe this is the redevelopment we need to see out of Maloney.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Playing a bit more of a balanced role.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So interesting, but I'm sure he'll improve.
Oh, undoubtedly. And especially with Peter Wallace at 9. Like, I think he's so underrated.
Oh, he is,
mate.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that he's not even getting tossed up around Origin.
Never gets spoken about.
And I guess it's because of his age now. Like, everything's about, developing the next crop and investing in them for the next 4, 5, 6 years.
New South Wales want to match the Queensland dynasty and have their own dynasty. They're looking for the next 10 years. But you're right, Wallace would never let anyone down, and he's got that competitive spirit that you need for Origin. 100%. He's been there before as well.
Such a good leader. You just see him constantly spraying blokes when they need to be sprayed, or calming things down when things need to be calm. Like, and
he's very composed.
Yeah, I don't think there's any club that has a better dynamic of seniority and junior.
No, you're right.
It's so good to watch. And when they are on, and we've seen when they are on how awesome they are, but it's obvious that flamboyancy in some of these younger players is still not controlled enough.
Yeah.
And that's what's letting them down. And this is a big opportunity because the Bulldogs have been thoroughly disappointing. And this is the opportunity for the Bulldogs to turn that with the new combination. So I guess we'll have a better idea once we sit down next week and be like, King did this or he didn't do this, or Moo Brown did this or he didn't do this. But for me, even without Zalesniak, and they're obviously gonna, you'd expect that they're gonna try and put a lot of kicking pressure on the debutant. So I'm not sure what he's like. Obviously, we've seen no footage of him, so I'm not sure what he's like under the high ball. But no doubt they'll be looking to test him out. But I think some support there, and I guess having Tyrone Peachy come off the bench there, there's plenty of support in the utility capabilities of him. If anything sort of happens. What do we got from Rhino there, mate? He's a Dogs supporter, so.
Wallace has had some shocking Origin appearances too, which doesn't help his cause.
Yeah.
I think he's played his best footy in the last 3 years. Yeah, he's played probably his best footy in at number 9, hasn't he?
Yeah. Also tore his scrotum open, Rhino, and continued to play on and opened his jocks up full of blood. So.
Well, that is a terrible Origin experience,
isn't it? Yeah, he probably doesn't want to go back.
That's
They
one of the
probably
worst.
wanted to pick him and they told him to fuck off.
Yeah.
What's Hamo got? Righty got. We got more there.
Fuck it, Rhino, you're Righty's got New Brown offers more as a dummy half off the bench. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
but
pretty
I would
explosive.
argue, Righty, that during that Origin period, he was just as influential as Townsend was for Cronulla. I thought he fucking played great through that Origin period when Maloney was out. So yeah, it'll be interesting. And you've got to remember that there's completely different bodies around him in comparison to the Sharks versus the Bulldogs. So
it's true.
who knows how that affects? We've seen how it's affected, like we've just said, Maloney and Moylan and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all untested until you throw it out.
It's all speculation.
Yes, exactly right.
What are you thinking? What's your prediction for this one?
I think you've just got to get used to the Bulldogs letting you down.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
and we still
agree.
haven't seen the best of Penrith.
No, I agree. I think the Penrith are going to wipe them.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. If they turn up, they're still yet. The challenge for Penrith is to put an 80-minute performance
that's
together.
true.
They've fucking played 40
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row and still managed to win, which is scary.
Yeah, it is scary.
And it's 4 competition points is so important come September.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to have ground out those wins, what's Rhino got?
He's got Wallace will literally bust his nut for his side. He's committed. There's no doubt. So what are you thinking? I've got Panthers big time winning that one.
Yeah, I like Penrith.
Easy.
I like Penrith.
We've got West Tigers and Broncos up next. The Tigers running out. They've changed. Well, they've not changed, but they've put Corey Thompson back at fullback.
Yep.
Nofaluma back in. He played pretty well last week.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Tui Lola here gets a look in once his knees fit, or?
Well, it just depends how they all perform.
Yeah.
It's just like you
Thompson
said
looked
before.
pretty good at one.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and he's only small, but
And
he's
Norfoluma didn't help Lawler's cause too.
Yeah, that's
after
right.
missing round 1.
Yep, exactly. So I don't know. Yeah, it's just they're just gonna have to wait and see how that pans out. I haven't been overly impressed by Tui Lola.
Yep.
To be fair, really.
He seems like a real wishy-washy player, right?
Yeah, he is. He's a Warriors player. He
Fair.
should have just stayed at the Warriors. He suits their style. But we've got Ehsan Masters, Kevin Nagama.
He's starting to develop, isn't he?
Yeah, Masters is starting to get there, yeah. Malachi with Tenny's Lesniak
Yep.
on the wing. Marshall and Brooks in the halves. Marshall's the captain. Russell Packer and Ben Madalino, the 2 big Kiwi blokes who have been absolutely on fire so far in the front row. Peter Godinay at 9. Chris Lawrence, Robbie Rocco and Matt Eisenhuth in the back row.
Yeah, so no Elijah Taylor this week. I think that could be pivotal.
Yeah, because he's a rock. He's an absolute rock. The tackles he makes.
Yeah.
He's got good ball playing ability.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
versatile.
He's very versatile, isn't he? Yeah. So that could be a key point there, not having him. But
Yeah.
overall, still on paper, that team isn't overly it doesn't really scare you looking at that team. But
Yeah.
just the way they've performed as a team the last 2 weeks, they can worry any team at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. And the fact that they're playing at Campbelltown.
Yes.
So they're not just going to ANZ or whatever. So I think it's good to take them into a bit of West Tigers heartland and
Interesting
throw
stat,
the Bronx in there.
Interesting stat. They've never beat the Broncos at Campbelltown.
There you go.
Yes, I think they've had 6 losses and a draw. Something like that, but they've never beaten the Bronx at Campbelltown. Hamilton.
What do we got? There's some more
Now
banter.
we've just
Hamo's
got-
blind.
Now they just hijacked the video. Hammo's blind.
What's Joshy got?
Friday needs to go. Bring in take it easy. Easy.
Take it easy.
Yeah,
San Thido.
yeah, I agree. But yeah, Broncos. We've got Darius Boyd at fullback, Oates and Sarko in the wings. I think Asako's been pretty impressive so far.
Yeah, he's been solid. Fuck,
He's
that
quick.
kicking game.
Yeah.
Can kick a fucking ball.
Can kick a ball. We've got
Yep.
a new goal kicker. He's good at kickoffs.
Yep.
Monstrous quads on him. My God.
Yep.
Roberts and Opacek in the centres. Milford and Nicarima in the halves.
Yep.
Opacek probably won't play in the centres though. It looks like Jack Bird has been cleared to play, and I'm assuming they're going to play him in the centres.
Yeah, I think that's where they'll look to dip their toe with him, mate.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe starting him off in the centres. He's out wide.
Oh, he's played
He knows
plenty
that
there.
position.
Coming back from injury too.
Come back from injury. They may start him on the bench, but I hope they don't. I hope they just put him out
Yeah,
there.
I think it'd be a waste of time.
I think it would be too, yeah. You know, so Matt Lodge and Tavita Pangai up front. Andrew McCulloch at number 9. Alex Glenn, Matt Gillett, Josh Maguire in the back row. Interchange Sam Thaiday, which I think a couple of the boys I don't think everyone sort of agrees Thiday's on his last legs. Some of the performances.
Does he
lately
see
have
the
been
season
trash.
out?
Oh mate, look, I don't know, Like I know Bennett's told him that this is his last year, but gee, I don't know, man.
Do you reckon
We're just gonna have to see how we go.
Pin? Do you reckon, like, if he gets dropped, let's say he spends a month at what I don't even know what fucking club he's
Yeah,
aligned
fuck.
with.
I don't think-
Norths or whatever. Fuck.
I honestly don't think Bennett will drop him completely.
Yeah.
I just don't reckon he will.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough one. Like, because they've got some really good players in the reserves that are itching for time. Like Sam Tagatizi, you know, they bought him from the Sharks.
I think they're final.
Mate, his experience and his pure size and
Well, that's
work
a big
ethic.
intimidating factor, eh? Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Because
Yeah.
they don't have the biggest forward pack, the Bronx. So
No.
if they can add another big body in there, Sam Tagatizi, that'd be great. But
Yeah, imagine him coming on for Matt Lodge.
yeah, exactly right. The defence would just go, fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
Round 2. And then obviously we've got Joe Offengowie, Corbin Sims and Jaden Sewer on the bench as well. So
Yeah.
we haven't really seen too much from Jaden Sewer yet. He hasn't impressed me.
No.
Really, I don't know why they sort of persisting with him so much. He must have shown a lot in the younger grades.
I guess so.
Have you seen much
Yeah,
of him?
yeah. In the younger grades, he carved 20s up.
Yeah, okay, so he carved 20s, but
Yeah.
I think he's only about 20.
Yeah, he's only young.
Yeah,
He's only
so
young.
we'll look to see him in the next couple of years.
But I guess Andrew McCulloch having made such an influential impact last week starting for the Broncos, I thought that was the key difference in helping them turn that 8-0 deficit around against the Cowboys last week. I think that's probably their biggest tick in the box. You know, you're talking about Andrew McCulloch versus Peter Godinay. A really big mismatch. So it's Peter Godinay's really going to have to stand up and make sure that he's providing that platform for his forwards. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this challenge of, and then it goes back on, we've given Tavita Pangai a big rap, but now he's got to go
He's gotta
after
back it up.
Packer and Madaleno. He can't just go 1 week.
No,
so
you're
can
right.
he live up to that emotional week after week?
Yeah.
I've got myself up for the local derby.
Yeah.
Now I've got to go again. Like,
Against Tamalolo.
yeah.
And
And
that's what
Packer
the
and Madaleno, like, fucking
Yeah,
hell.
man.
Seasoned vets, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's
they ain't
what
there to fuck around.
that's what makes you a solid first grade player. Is being able to turn up every week.
Yep.
It's so hard.
Yep.
And the young players always struggle to do it. If he wants to lock down that number 10 jersey,
Yes.
which he definitely can.
Yep.
He's in the fucking pilot, in the driver's seat at the moment.
Yep.
He just needs to perform every week.
Yeah. And Matt Lodge coming up against his old club.
Yes.
It'll be interesting to see, the emotion and coming back to, it'll be growing up with the likes of Luke Brooks and stuff like that. It'll be competitive for him, and no doubt he'll be looking to get under Luke Brooks' skin. I think that'd be a big responsibility of a big guy like Matt Lodge. That'd be almost a task I'll be setting him is just make sure we land Marshall and Brooks.
Make sure they know we're there.
Yeah, because they need it. We've nailed it. Matt Lodge and Tavita Pangai, they've got to set the standard. Because if Packer and Madaleno have their way, it's going to allow for Marshall and Brooks. Because you look at them from 1 to 5, it's pretty damaging.
For the Tigers.
Yeah. And especially with Corey Thompson being able to play on either side of the ruck, being at fullback now. He's quite an established finisher. I think he scored something And I know we're talking about Super League, but
it was like
54 tries in like two seasons or something. Like,
yeah.
That's nothing to fucking laugh at.
No, that's right. Yeah. We've just got confirmation there from Schmitty that Bird has been actually moved into the centres as number 19.
Yep.
So he has been put in there, which is great.
Yep.
Jacob Tours just asked, Boyd looks sluggish at the back. He does look sluggish. I don't know what's going on. They're asking if he's 100% or not. But
There's no way. There's no way he is. He
hasn't been for a good cut for almost 2 seasons.
With the injury history that he's got,
his hammy.
Well, it just goes in a cycle. When you've had Achilles injuries, which is directly affects your calf. Just to talk a bit of sports science here, like the insertion points of your calves and your hamstrings directly cross over, which leads to the lower back, and so they're fundamental mechanical parts of being fast.
Yeah.
Changing direction, meters per minute as a fullback. They're things that you see him struggle with at times.
Yeah.
You see him, when they're going for a repeat set, they got to force a drop out. He's sitting behind the fucking dead ball line thinking, fuck me.
Yeah.
He's...
he's definitely very sluggish in turning and changing direction. It almost looks like he's not trying sometimes, but I think he's just holding back because of his body.
Well, you only got to look at his posture.
Yeah.
Like, he's got that real fucking rounded shoulders.
Big biceps, but a strange sort of build.
It's real weird. He almost moves a bit like Clint Dolan.
Yeah.
Hello. Mozzie.
Who should be the actual captain of the Broncos? They look like they're lacking a leader in Boyd.
Wayne Bennett.
Yeah.
Bring him back on the wing. Captain on the wing.
I think Schmitty and I were talking about this the other day.
Gillett.
Well, we threw up a few names. We threw up Gillett. We threw up McCulloch. I think we even threw up Josh Maguire at one point, but I think Josh Maguire's not quite mature enough yet.
Nah.
Matt Gillett.
Because he's got a blow up in him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Matt Gillett is more of a leader with his actions.
Yep.
But he's not, I don't know, it's not a bad idea.
It'd be between Gillett and McCulloch, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
but no one really stands out in that team.
Yeah, that's fair.
To be your real leader. Because I don't know, I think sometimes Boyd's attitude gets in the way.
You go through a lot of those players and you're like, I don't think many of these guys talk.
Yeah, well, that's right. They don't have a dominant player that really talks.
Yeah,
they don't, because Milford and Nicarima are quiet.
Yeah, Boyd's quiet.
I'm
not sure what McCulloch would be like on the field. He seems pretty sort of...
I think he gets into it a bit. He's probably one of their bigger talkers, but compared to other teams...
But even you see his personality off the field. He's not someone that we see in the headlines all the time.
No, he's quiet. He's a quiet guy.
Yeah,
he's a quiet guy. He's not really interested in the garbage.
No.
So, yeah, it's I don't know. At the moment, Boyd is who we're stuck with, so we're just going to have to see.
Robertson, Bird, centers.
Yeah, it's pretty potent, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the only ones that challenge it are the Rabbitohs in
Inglis and Gagai.
Yeah. Let's hope they can fucking get him some footy. It's
just
really...
you got to give those guys the ball in the right place and give Roberts the ball at any stage with a bit of room to move and tired forwards around. You saw what he did last week against the Cows.
Yeah.
That was, that's vintage James Roberts there, and Bird's capable of similar things and even more damaging. He can set up his players as well. So if Jack Bird can get it right and he fits in the Broncos system and he buys in to the Broncos system,
correct.
He could really, really go to another level.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, this is a fucking 50-50 game for mine. It's weighed up in that forwards battle. I look to the Tigers bench and I'm sort of like, what more? Alex Twal's been really impressive. Michael Cheekham comes into the side. Like, what do you do? McKilrick, he was the starting 9, so how does he respond?
Josh Aloia's just there.
Yeah, but then, I thought Offengowi's been great off the bench. Corbin Sims can be good when he wants to be good. But then again, like we said, if the Bronx don't start square, Milford and Nicarima sort of melt down a little bit. So then if that doesn't happen, then the next chain of Roberts and Birds isn't even a factor.
That's right.
They don't get played into the game.
That's right.
So that's the risk. So the challenge is it lies with Lodge and Tavita Pangai. They've got to go again. If they don't fire, Packer and Madalino are going to dominate. But then, like we just said, looking to those benches, where does the next flow come?
The next wave.
I think for me, I'm going to lean towards the Bronx in a close one.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Just with the experience now, Thaiday and Gowie, like they played in the grand final. There's some pretty handy experience coming off the bench.
What I'm banking on is that they saw the difference in result last week. They saw that the way they played worked for them.
Yeah.
And surely they can go, all right, that's how we need to play.
Yeah.
And if they can just emulate what they did last week, and I'm sure they've been doing the same things at training as they were doing last week. So
yeah,
they've seen what's worked for them now. Hopefully it's given Milford and Nicarima some confidence. Mm-hmm. They had to fight for that confidence too. They had to really fight for it because everyone was into them. I was into them. Media was into them.
Yeah.
And they've just come out and performed last week. So hopefully that gives them a bit of confidence, and they just come out and do the same thing. I think Broncos will get up, only by 2 points though.
Perfect.
Let's not forget also the Tigers have only scored, I think, 20 points this year so far. So they haven't been scoring points, but they've been.
And we know the
defending
Bronx love to score points.
The Bronx can score points.
Yep.
So
we got anything more there from Schmitty, or still much the same?
I think defensively they're even points wise. Broncos for the win.
Perfect. Sounds about right then. Agree with this. Alrighty. Yeah, this was the trio that we were speaking about to start the year off. So we've seen the
Knights and the Raiders.
Yep. We've seen the Warriors versus the Titans, and we've seen the Titans versus the Raiders.
Yeah.
So we're getting a little bit of consistency around styles of play, I think. So we've got the Raiders versus the Warriors this week in Canberra. So that's obviously going to be the big test for the Warriors, is that travelling schedule that we know last year was terrible. Yeah. And they even had a pretty shit record at home just because the season itself was fucked.
Yeah, that's right. They've had a much better start though. So
yeah. The starting sides, we've seen them change back. So Aiden Caesar goes back to starting at 6 and Blake Austin back off the bench. I don't like it.
No, neither do
I thought Blake Austin was probably the most
he
influential
played really
player
well last week.
Real weird. So it'll be interesting to see whether that's just a bit of a head fuck thing and he does end up starting there. I hope that is the case. Joe Tarpanay's been named as 18th man. He's still waiting for a late clearance after that broken finger. Liam Knight has been named in the 17 jersey on debut. He's actually a Manly junior. Came through that 20 system. He was a fucking psychopath. He was their captain. I remember he just ripped cunts' heads off. So it's obviously taken a little bit of development. There was obviously an area of his game that certain clubs were worried about. 23 now, I believe. So it'd be a shame that if Tarpanay does get cleared and he's been named in the 17 and doesn't get a start. Yeah. But that's senior footy, isn't it? So that's what I expect. I can't see Tarpanay missing from a fucking broken finger. Like, he's going to get back there. Yeah. They've got things squared away. I believe that was the only real changes apart from the switch, and then Tarpanay coming back into the side. And Joey Leilua is actually under fairly heavy scrutiny with an ankle injury. So even though he's been named, there is a high possibility that he won't play. So Michael Oldfield will slot in there. Maybe, I don't know.
Kotrick in the centres?
Yeah, potentially. It'd be interesting to see what they do.
Or Rapana in the centres, maybe. Yeah. Because Oldfield's a pure winger, isn't he, really? Yeah.
Yep. And what do we got? Oh, and Charlie Gubb drops out of that. He had that weird groin injury. I'm not sure to the extent. I don't think there's been a date put on how long he's going to be out for. But yeah, it's real nasty. It's gross.
Yeah.
Warriors, what do we got there? There's a couple of changes. So Ignatius Parsi comes in. 1 to 7 is pretty much the starting side is just about the same. The thing that I'm liking about the Warriors at the moment is just some of the leaders that they've got there. Adam Blair, love him or hate him, he's played enough footy to offer confidence in some of the younger guys and coming energy through. Tohu Harris, and not to mention, Simon Mannering's still a week away. So once he comes back, they're only going to continue to get better. Blake Green obviously has been the biggest influence, calming influence there. But yeah, I think just because they've got the 2 wins, I think a lot of people they're quick to get on the bandwagon. Yeah, it's good. The Tigers bandwagon, blah, 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 blah. You look at the stats from their game last week. They should have got fucking pumped. Should have got absolutely belted. Yeah. So if they go and do that, the Raiders, I think they will pump them.
But that's the Warriors and the Raiders.
Exactly.
Full stop. That's the way they both play. You look at the stats and you go, how did you win that game? But they find a way. So another cracker for sure. I'm
looking forward to it. Simply up front as well, you got the likes of Shannon Boyd and Papali, who I love. In the forwards, the forwards that we've already named for the Warriors, in Adam Blair, the new Isaac Luke, apparently. It's the revival of the old cunt this year. So Yeah. And James Gavitt, he seems to actually be starting to play the best footy that he's been afforded to in his career.
He was given an early chance by the Broncos as well, and they obviously saw a lot in him. They didn't quite get that out of him, but he's obviously got the talent there because
undoubtedly
the coaches are, starting him.
Yeah.
And he's played all right this year so far. One thing I did notice was that last week we called it about Elliott Whitehead moving back to the edge, and he played an absolute blinder.
Yeah, had a screamer, didn't he?
So that's clearly his spot. He's an edge player. Luke Bateman at lock's great for the Raiders. But interesting that Ignatius Parsi and Lee Levaha Pulu both came from the Titans. Those two are kind of like, I don't know, they're like, they're brothers. They're real similar.
Yeah.
But they seem to be fitting in really well. So the Warriors they're surprising everyone at the moment. I hope they keep going.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that to go back to Whitehead, having him on that edge and then knowing the attacking potency of Leilua and Rapana, it holds defenders up.
Yeah.
So sometimes you forget about Whitehead and you're a bit too quick to release, and then that's when he can get those one-on-ones with the halves. How
many times have you seen Whitehead throw a dummy to Leilua or whichever one's on his side?
Yeah.
How many times have you seen him throw a dummy and go through the line because they're thinking straight away, fuck, I've got to get to Leilua.
Yeah. They're looking to get that release to fix that number.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
it's
another. That's as a toss as a coin game. This one.
Yeah, it could be anything. The Raiders could flog them. The Warriors could flog them. It could be fucking Golden Point. It honestly, like you basically
could be Golden Point.
You should be Scott Lenzinger and just fucking cover all your bets. Like
hedge bet that shit.
Hedge bet it down.
The Raiders are paying $1.76, so they are favourites.
And I think that probably comes to the travel.
Yeah, the travel and
Canberra at home.
I don't know. I feel like I can't see the Raiders going 0-3 for some reason. I mean, I don't know. The Warriors are almost due for a little bit of a reality check.
Yes.
In a way. Yeah, I hope they don't get too ahead of themselves. It might be good for them to have a little bit of a reality check.
Yeah, because they are, like I was saying, coming up to a period where I think they've got the Broncos, Roosters and Storm.
Oh, right.
And that's when we're going to... So they really, if I'm Stephen Kearney, we fucking need this.
Yeah.
Because this is what we're bracing for. This is the calm before the storm.
Even if we end up going 3 from 6, doesn't matter. We've got 3.
Yeah, at least the aim would be to be competitive with those 3 sides in that 3-week period.
That's right.
So, I think the real pressure is on the Warriors here. And I guess that the halves combination of Blake Green and Sean Johnson is what I'm looking to the Warriors to really challenge if Aiden Caesar does end up starting with Sam Williams, because it's a fucking no contest. I'd pick the Warriors halves combination over the Raiders. So, I guess that is my concern with Sam Williams, that he's just solid.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
he's just solid.
Yeah,
and that's a concern for me.
Yeah,
like what more?
He's
I need something else.
He's like a Jeff Robson.
Yes,
except not as bad. But he's like a Jeff Robson. Yeah. He's just in the team. He's solid. You know what he's going to give you every week.
Yeah.
And then they're obviously still flirting with the whole Aiden Caesar or Blake Austin thing, which maybe might be lifting Austin and Caesar's game a bit. Just mentally, it's just giving them another reason, more motivation. But
surely, as a player though, Blake Austin, you must be fucking dirty. You've okay, I can live with starting off the bench here. Okay, I played good, so then I get rewarded. What the fuck did I do wrong to get dropped to the bench again, cunt?
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
I would love to know Stewart's rationale for that.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'd say Stewart's he's relatively upfront, so he's probably spoken to him about it and explained why.
I'm sure there's no actual dramas with it.
Yeah, but
it must be frustrating regardless.
Still, yeah, it would be. Yeah, absolutely. What's your tip?
As an idiot, I'm going to fucking tip the Warriors. They're a club that are going to let you down, but I don't know, just something about Blake Green. And the fact that they played shit last week, like if they tossed up those stats last year, they would have got fucking ended up losing by 20 or 30. So the fact that they still held resolve to win it, I think shows where they're starting to improve. I think two of us are Shaq, Green, Johnson. It's a winning combo. Like they've just got to fucking find a way.
And Isaac.
Stand up. Yeah, exactly right. Just find a way.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to go the Raiders this week.
Cool.
Not even out of any real logic. Just my gut feeling telling me the Raiders are going to get up. The Warriors are going to be a little bit off this week.
Yep. I like your rationale of sometimes it is just a numbers game. Win-win. I guess we lose.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it can be. Because you honestly don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you can't continue to win forever. Alrighty, Bunnies versus Manly. This is going to be quite an interesting contrast. So, the Bunnies really would have felt like they should have won last week. It's definitely a game they threw away. versus can Manly, like, where do they sit now? So they had the disappointing loss to Newcastle round 1, absolutely fucking wiped the floor with Parramatta last week. How do they follow that up?
Where are their heads at now?
Yeah, exactly. How do they respond? Is this all of a sudden it's going to be a close of the gap and it's going to be a tight game again and they get in an arm wrestle with a team that they're probably expected to run over a little bit? But in saying that, the Bunnies, they've got to start to click at some point. But where does that happen without Reynolds? Do they rely that heavily on him? Not that Doihey played that bad, but it just comes down to experience, you know what I mean? When you've got... But I guess it is that contrasting mismatch of Doihey versus Croker.
Yeah.
So...
And, I mean, Cody Walker's... He can't do it all.
No.
He tries to. And they rely on him a lot, but it's got to click at some point. And you just don't know. It's really for them, I feel like, for South, it's always seems to be about the forwards and about the Burgess brothers, whether they turn up. Because if Sam Burgess turns up, the other team's pretty much got no chance. He's that good. He's that much of an influential player
100.
that if he turns up, man, they're hard to beat. And the Eagles could be a little bit complacent subconsciously. After playing so well, they might think they're going to come out and just run over the Rabbits. But
when does the English go to fullback? How long do they leave it? Because it's another case of Alex Johnson was like the most prolific fucking winger try scorer, a bit pretty similar to Val Holmes.
Yeah, true that.
Like, at what point do you like, well, let's flick fucking Robert Jennings
or Kenner,
like
whichever one.
Yeah, to be honest, I'd probably leave Kenner, just a bit bigger body. Yeah.
Put Inglis back to fullback, Johnson on the wing. And
then all of a sudden, instead of playing left, right, Inglis, Gagai, then you've got Inglis playing 2 Gagai.
Yeah,
fuck that. Fuck defending that, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's disgusting.
It's origin all over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Interesting to see Robbie Farah's back in the reserves.
Snore.
Playing at 18 for South. So.
Snore.
So, he might...
I hope his manager's working hard, man. Go to Super League. Cash in, man. You've done enough for the game. You owe us fucking nothing, man.
Yeah. I think it was a bit of ego. There's a bit of ego there. He doesn't want to be remembered for getting shafted from Tigers. He wants to, play a couple of good years after that to sort of wipe that away. But
it's pretty obvious, like he's not going to find his way in there.
No, I don't think so. Not with the lineup.
Especially with Damien Cook getting tossed up as Origin.
Oh, mate. He's been playing outstanding. He's been absolutely outrageous. So, I think Farah's done.
Yeah.
But the Seagulls, I mean, at the moment, like, they're just, like, on the weekend there, they just didn't put a foot wrong, really. Yeah. And you had both the Trbojevic brothers on fire. And I think someone made the point the other day, Parramatta were only, you only need to be a little bit off when you got a team like the Seagulls coming at you, when you got Daly Cherry Evans on fire and the Trbojevic brothers. Yeah. They're going to make you pay.
Yeah, because they've got those partnerships across different areas. Hey.
Yeah, throughout. Yeah.
Every now and then Brian Kelly just rips a ridiculous running game. Like he gets those lines right. He gets that offload out. George Tafua, hasn't he come back with a vengeance after that knee injury last year? Good Lord.
Pulls it out.
Did you see George Tafua score that last try? Yeah. And he just smiles at Bevan French. He's like, sorry, man. Like, it was disgusting.
He just little shimmy and then just fell over.
Carried him. Yeah. But I think for me, man, the Burgess brothers, the twins, they're going to let you down. There's going to be a point in the game where they're just going to let you down at a crucial time.
One of them will drop the ball 10 metres out.
Yep, and then how does Doihey defending in the line as a young half? He's still developing there. There's still combinations with Kennar and Roberts, like they're not genuine starters for the Rabbitohs over a series of years. No. Then you've got Gagai, who's new to the club. Inglis hasn't played a lot of time at centre there. There's so many things that are still taking time. The Rabbitohs and the Bulldogs are almost in the same boat as far as development. Whereas the new signings for Newcastle, you've got guys that have played heaps of footy together, so they're just there.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
For me, the consistency is there with Manly now. Even without Blake Green now. I thought Croker started to come into his own a little bit more. And obviously that's going to help when you're playing off the back of a fucking 54-0 scoreline. It does get a lot easier. I thought Hastings was quite good off the bench, did his spot, but Adam Fanua-Blake has taken full advantage of starting, and Darcy Lussick, who we see in the 21 jersey, is a chance of coming back. So it'd be interesting. I doubt he starts straight away because he's not a genuine starter as it is. No. He was penciled in to get that starting role at start of year before getting injured. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see who they drop off the bench if he does come in. Because Kalepi Tunganor has been solid, I think. I'd like to keep Sean Lane just because of his diversity, being a tall body with an offload. So, yeah, you'd probably say either Lloyd Perrott or Tunganor misses out there. Yeah. But, yeah, for me, I think Rabbitohs probably go 0-3.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough start for Seabold. I think, the 3 rookie coaches, we got 1 and 6. So Garth Brennan with the round 1 win is the only win from them. So Dean Pay and Seabold without a win.
Yeah.
I think they're probably both staring down 0-3.
Yeah, I think so.
But you got, I guess, as a board, you got to be patient.
You got. You can't expect too much straight away. No, I think Seagulls are going to get up here easily.
Yeah. Like pretty good odds when you look at it. $1.70 for Manly, head to head. That's pretty cheeky.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. This is the more disappointing one. Parramatta versus Cronulla. One of these teams is going to be 0-3.
Yeah.
Who the fuck would have picked that to start the season?
Yeah. Everyone's been talking about Parramatta. Dark horses.
Yeah, dude. Well, I came out and said, I'm like, man, put me down.
Yeah.
Put me down. I reckon,
Where do I sign?
The team on paper, even though I tipped against them in round 1, I really thought both clubs would have bounced back. I tipped both of them last week, and then let me fucking down massively. Let's go through those starting sides. So for Parramatta, nothing really changes. Bo Scott comes back into the side.
There is talk of Hayne moving back to fullback.
Yep. And we did discuss that, didn't we? So if Hayne does go back to fullback, probably French goes to the wing. And then we even tossed up that perhaps Hoffman or Ava'a may get cut, and Takarangi goes back to centre where he earned his first Kiwi jumper last season, which makes a lot of sense, I suppose.
It does make a lot of sense. I think that for some reason I think they won't though. I think they'll move either Hoffman or Ava'a into the centres though.
Well, Ava'a's
played heaps of centre. Hoffman used to play centre.
Yeah. I like Coffee on the wing though. I think he's doing a great job, eh?
So do I. I'd probably put Ava'a in the centre. Yeah. Big body and
exactly.
He's an unselfish player.
Yeah.
He'll pass the ball on to French or whoever's on his wing. So I think that might be a good thing, but I just haven't seen anything from Hayne yet.
Yeah.
Really? Have you seen much from him?
Nah.
I mean,
and I get it. It's easy to be hypercritical.
Yeah.
How do you get your way into a game? Like, no one performed last week.
No,
There wasn't a Parramatta player that ran for 100 metres. No one hit triple figures.
I know.
So that's what happens. It was the possession was 70-30.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Like, you can't... Yeah, that's a sum of all parts. It's not really individuals there. We see that Kenny Edwards comes back in after an ankle injury, so he's on the bench. Young Kenneth. Who knows? Maybe it's the fucking lunacy that this team needs.
Stand that bloke, but
kissing people and shit.
Yeah.
I'd flog him. The punch rule saves him.
Yeah, he's an absolute flog, Kenny Edwards. But maybe that is what they need. He did hold an interesting dynamic, and he did hold a lot of power in that team last year.
Well, it's one of the guys. Like, let's not get it twisted. He's someone that you would love to play with.
Yeah.
He's a fucking punish.
He comes on, he screams at the boys, he pumps everyone up, he puts on a big shot. I mean, albeit some bloke's defenseless on the ground, but he comes on, he's got that bit of mongrel, and that's the way that Parramatta play. They've got players like Mitch Moses and Jared Hayne and Michael Jennings that they need to feed off energy.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
if they can get that started this week against the Sharks, we should see a much better contest.
Yeah, and we move now to the Sharks lineup. So Dugan has been officially named at 1.
Yeah.
Jesse Ramian comes into the centre, the rookie. So he's only got 1 game under his belt. I think he played 1 game last year for the Sharks. So Aaron Gray, I should say, is dropped. I don't believe there's any injury concerns around him. Nope.
No.
Yeah, it was just a poor performance.
Yeah.
And I guess, I said that. I think there was 6 errors from the back 3 last week coming out of trouble. It was pretty disappointing. Yeah. Kurt Capewell is on the bench, Seguiaro, Siamana Fungai and Joseph Paulo. So it's a pretty constant there.
What do you think has been the big difference in the Sharks the first couple of rounds? What do you think has caused them to go 0-2? Is it as simple as saying it's because they don't have Maloney?
Yeah, I think it's the difference.
Different dynamics in the halves.
The different dynamics of Maloney and Townsend.
Yeah.
Moylan relying more on ad-lib footy when you're coming to a structured club.
Yes.
I think Luke Lewis has been missed a hell of a lot more. We see him, he's named in the reserve, so he may find his fucking fingers crossed for the Sharks' sake that he finds his way back in there. So that'd be it'd be a straight swap. So he'd come in for Bakuya, obviously. Bakuya back to the bench, and Joseph Paulo Kurt Capewell probably misses out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love watching Luke Lewis. I think he's so good for the game. He's a great role model. Speaks really well.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Plays hard, tackles hard.
He's just been around forever, man, and he's stood the test of time.
100%.
Like he's played
and continued to redevelop his game. Started as a winger.
He started as a. I'm sure he's played in the halves as well.
Yeah, I think he's played a bit of six at Penrith.
Yeah, halves, in the forwards.
And I think him and Wade Graham complement each other beautifully.
Yeah, massively, man.
So good. I love Wade Graham, man.
I love Wade Graham too.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, so
everyone always says I look like Wade Graham. So.
Yeah, Ron always says that.
Yeah. He's a good kid. But what are you thinking? This is a tough one, man, because we haven't really seen too much from either side.
We talk about adversity. Flashes. We talk about having doggedness. So it's even money head to head in the betting stakes, and I think it comes down to more the last two losses. It's scissors paper rock. Sharks had the opportunities. They could have quite easily beaten the Cowboys round one. They should have beaten the Dragons last week after leading 14-0. Yeah. They're a lot closer to a win than Parramatta are.
Yes.
You know, we look at the glaring stat that they have not scored. Parramatta have not scored points since the first 15 minutes of the season. They've conceded 78 points without scoring one. I think the Sharks just through pure
grit.
Yeah, they're just a team, and they're not playing at Parramatta Stadium. It's just at ANZ. I think it's terrible that Parramatta fucking play there. Yeah, they should be at their heartland week after week. Yeah. So I think Parramatta are probably the team that go 0-3, unfortunately. But who knows? Like we've just alluded to, Kenny Edwards could be the difference, just something different.
Yeah.
I don't know how Cameron King plays. I was saying to you before the podcast started that he got absolutely knocked the fuck out with a disgusting knee from Sean Lane.
Sean Lane's knees are the size of a small suburb.
And I'm not here saying that the Parramatta staff are botching tests or anything like that, but
you're just saying
how hard must it be to pass these tests?
Yeah, it mustn't be very hard.
But
although I've got to say, I think last season we saw a few players miss out on the following week from HIAs. So it must have just been the way that he's been hit or...
It's crazy, man, because he was in a world of hurt.
Yeah.
He was in a world of hurt. I actually thought he may have had some fucking facial fractures or something.
Yeah.
So to be in that state and be like, yeah, sweet. When was that? That was Sunday. So it's a 6-day turnaround. So it's not even a week between games. That's scary, man.
And to be not even in, he's not even mentioned as being a possibility of playing or whatever. He's just in and that's it.
Yeah.
Which is strange.
Yeah.
But look, I'm gonna go the Eels here.
Mm-hmm.
Just out of pure... I don't even know. Just the fact I think they're going to really be fired up now after last week. And I think they're going to give the Sharks a bit of a touch-up, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Around about 10 points, something like that.
Titans-Dragons out at Toowoomba. So the Titans, I don't think they play at the Gold Coast until...
Round 8.
Yeah, round 8, just because of the Com games. So
they've got one at Toowoomba and one at Gladstone.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens in that sort of lineup of going out and playing rurally. I think it's only like 5,000 capacity or something out there.
Still more fans than the Roosters, but
yeah, fair. Let's go through the lineup. What do we got? It doesn't look like there's too many changes aside from the biggest one is Ash Taylor coming back, obviously. What do you think of Jai Arrow continually starting in the front row? Do you think he's a genuine front rower, or it's just about Jared Wallace is in off the bench?
Yeah, has Wallace just come back? Has he?
Yes, from suspension.
Okay. I think you'll see Wallace start. Actually,
surely you would.
Yeah, I think you'll see Wallace start and Jai Arrow off the bench. But I tell you what, Jai Arrow and Jared Wallace aren't that different as players, the way they play, sort of thing. They're just both real, just workhorses. They get in and get it done. I don't mind Jai Arrow in the front. He's getting bigger. He's gotten bigger since last season.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think
he's still slight in comparison to an NRL prop.
He is. Yeah, he is smaller.
But you sort of feel that's what the Titans have continually gone with. They've never really had fucking giants.
No, they haven't, because Ryan James is he is a big dude, but compared to some of the other props, he's quite mobile.
James is tall.
Yeah, he's more mobile than anything else, and that's why
they've moved him
into the edge. Yeah, where he's got a bit more room to move.
Yeah,
because he does actually have a bit of speed, Ryan James, for a big man. So,
yeah, for sure.
No, but I don't know. I like them. I like the Titans in this one, except I think they're up against the Dragons.
Well, yeah, the Dragons, the only club with 0 injuries. Nothing.
Yeah, right.
They're sweet.
Wow.
Free as a bed.
Yeah, right. You need that, don't you? You need that luck.
Yep. Well, we've seen it
That
last year.
That was the Cowboys in 15 too, wasn't
True,
it?
yeah. Well, it was one of the longest runs without a change of 17, huh?
Yeah.
I just can't go past the Dragons.
At the moment,
Yeah, man. Like I continue to rave about the shape that they're afforded to play with Duffy and Widdop either side.
Hunt. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, Hunt's just squaring it up. It's what we've been talking about is a genuine 7, a structured 7 who plays with a running 6.
Yeah.
It's great. James Graham, fucking.
The fact that Hunt can run so well as well. It's just the defense has got to be constantly watching both those halves.
Yeah, and I think the best part about having James Graham and Paul Vaughan up front is that Jack DeBellin's been playing better than them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Fuck, that's scary, man.
What does that say? Yeah.
You know,
DeBellin's got to be knocking on that door for Origin this year, man.
How hard? Honest.
Yeah, he's kicking the door in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Freak show, eh?
Will be interesting to see. But that try from Nene McDonald last weekend, man.
Yeah.
That's going to be on the highlight reels for a long, long time.
Yeah.
That was outstanding. He can really pull out some freakish stuff, and it's good to see him really grabbing the opportunity that he's been given at the Dragons this year so far.
100.
What do you think?
Just with the flow that the Dragons have got at the moment, Ash Taylor is undoubtedly going to bring a lot more calm to the ship. But I just think, just looking at the forward pack, like there's still obviously plenty of potential there for the Titans, but just the few little ones, you know. So you got Jai Arrow, like how long can he keep going week after week? Leilani Latu is unproven as a consistent starter yet. He's getting there, moving from Penrith. You know, Proctor and James need to stand up.
Cartwright needs to stand up a bit too.
Needs to go, man.
His potential is so high. He just needs to find that rhythm.
Will Matthews needs to keep doing what he's been doing. Morgan Boyle, you know,
Mitch Rain.
You know, he's not really. Yeah, Mitch Rain and Nathan Peets.
It's
a great combination. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, and Wallace, you know, you can't expect the world from him.
Nah, coming back. Nah.
So it's going to take him a little while. And I think just the consistency and momentum that the Dragons already have, as long as they don't go in there with a complacent mindset, and I think they've still got ace up their sleeves with continuing to bring Kurt Mann off the bench. Like he hasn't even really seen any minutes. So if there comes a circumstance where he's needed, I think it's just a great cover.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think if the Dragons play to their full potential, after going into a solid arm wrestle and coming away victorious, I think fills them with a lot of confidence. As long as that confidence doesn't turn into complacency, like I just said, I think the Dragons can really go on and continue to lead on top.
I'm actually going to tip the Titans. I actually think the Dragons are going to be a little bit complacent this week.
Yep.
And the Titans are capable of just pulling off these sort of random wins here and there. And I just reckon I just feel like they're going to get up.
Beauty. I hope it's entertaining, especially for the Toowoomba crowd.
Exactly right. Yeah.
That's our last game of the round, isn't it?
Yeah.
Roosters and the Knights. Yeah. Ooh. Pierce versus Cronk. Let's go. We sort of said before the podcast kicked off how sort of subdued Robinson and Cordner were in the press conference when quizzed about it. And they're like, it's just
another
game.
Prepare.
Yeah, we do what we do. And Pierce is like, fuck no, let's go. It's going to be sick. Like, I can't wait. Going to catch up with the boys, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's good, man. I like the vibe that's coming out of Newcastle.
Mate, I love it.
Like, we were raving together about the interview that Nathan Brown gave on NRL 360. Honestly, if you do have Fox at your disposal, go back.
Monday night.
Yeah, go back to the interview with Brown. It was just so open and honest. Was raving about the reasons why they've signed the people that they have from the successful systems. Wrapped Bellamy, wrapped Bennett, wrapped Robinson.
Green.
Green. Looking to take the good things out of those systems, but how they adapt. Being, I guess, a lot of those Roosters players around so many big names, but now they get that shift of power and the ability for Brock Lamb to watch Mitchell Pearson like, this is how a genuine Origin half trains. Stuff like that. I think it made really good correlations for you to build a case, to build confidence and say, I think this is going to be a really positive time for this club.
You made a good point about the young forwards as well, like Lachlan Fitzgibbon.
Learning off Guerra.
Learning off Aiden Guerra.
Yeah.
The Safidi brothers learning off guys like what's his name,
Lillyman
Hyington and Jacob Lillyman.
Yep.
Like, like Hyington and Lillyman, yeah, they're old, yeah, they're slow, but they know what they're doing, and to have that amount of longevity that they've had in the game, they're obviously doing things right. And for them to see that, these younger guys to see that, big difference, because they haven't had those sort of influence over the last few years.
Yeah, 100%. And seeing the Knights at $3.20.
Yeah, that's a juicy bet.
If you're a punter, that's not dumb betting.
No, it's not.
By any means, head to head. And I guess the scary thing for me, and when you sort of see lineups, there's obviously tactical reasons behind them, and you're looking for reactions. So when I'm looking at a reaction here for the Roosters, I see Waria Hargraves and Mitch Orbison off the bench. So Dylan Napa's got the nod, and so is Ryan Madison. Yeah. So it's a response that Robinson's looking out of those two senior players to say, look, no one's infallible based off reputation. Don't care. Obviously Orbison hasn't played. He doesn't have a massive, rep career, but fuck, he's Mr. Fix-It. How he hasn't played some rep football in his time is probably the more disappointing thing.
Yes.
It's probably the fact that he's almost too consistent. You don't notice him enough.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Whereas Waria Hargraves, we don't have to mention his Kiwi influence. So that's the scary part for me, is Waria Hargrave off the bench and he goes, fuck this, I want my starting jersey back. I don't care who it's from, give it back to me. Yeah. And just having that inter-club, like we were talking about the Tigers, the competitive nature for your spots is a positive thing. Yeah. And I think to a degree the Knights have that as well with Danny Levi still back in reserve grade, and we see him named there in reserve. Brothers. Yeah, Jacob Saifidi who played, Ken Seo played, like everyone in the reserves. Luke Yates played first grade last year. So there's Jamie Bureau's back in the lineup, so he's back off the bench. So there's some more leadership to throw in the mix. Look, I hope it's a close game. It deserves to be a close game. But in saying that, I think the Roosters still have further improvement in them, and if they're gonna continue to be tossed up as genuine premiership threats, they need to come out and win by 20 points. Yeah. They need to put them away and say, look, they're improving, but that's cute.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cute.
We're the real deal.
We're top four.
Yeah,
we're top four. You may develop to make the 8, and hats off to you.
But we're top 2.
Yeah.
Roosters need to be top 2
they have
this year.
to.
That's what they want. That's what they aim for.
Yeah.
They went all out. They got Cronk on a 1-year deal.
Yep.
He's a 1-year deal, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is their year. Roosters have planned the last couple of years around this year. This is their year. Tedesco, Cronk. So they need to stand up and really, really start putting teams away.
And to be fair, Boyd Corner played like fucking dog shit last week. Yeah. He played terrible. So he needs it. Like that won't happen again.
Yeah, you don't see that 2 weeks in a row from Boyd Corner.
Yeah.
Another change I noticed, Reece Robinson back in
Tupou.
Out of nowhere for Tupou with a pec injury.
Yeah,
so,
unfortunate, man. It seems to be a nasty one now with the way the strength and conditioning programs are indicative for the physical requirements of the game, and being a full-time sport now, it seems to be one that just awkward
injury.
angle. He's a big, tall, lanky guy, so we're talking about long insertion points there. So
he's torn his pec. Nasty one.
Nasty.
How long is that going to keep him out, do you think?
I'm not sure if he ended up needing to have surgery. Surgery is where it really starts to lengthen things out to months.
Yeah, right, okay.
Months, so.
But if it's not surgery, we're looking at, 4 weeks?
If it is tear, probably closer to 6.
6 weeks.
Yeah, but if we're looking at surgery, double that. Yeah, so, we're starting to eat into origin time for the poor cunt, unfortunately. So
rough.
And you'd have to think with that Roosters influence, he really puts himself in the fray of being a partner to someone like a Blake Ferguson or someone like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Latrell Mitchell even being tossed up with Origin.
Yes.
Everything adds up. Tedesco,
they've got an abundance of choice this year, the New South Wales.
Ooh, I'm excited, man.
Yeah,
as a rugby league fan, I'm excited to see what the Blues. Obviously, I don't want them to win, but I'm excited to see what they can put. I want it to be super close again.
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting dynamic this year because it well and truly is now the Queensland old heads are passing the baton on now to the likes of Morgan and Munster.
We've seen Walters come out and say that Morgan Munster in the halves.
Yeah, well, I think that was a no-brainer. I don't think that had to be the choice. But I think it's going to be interesting because the New South Wales team are probably going to be a bit more experienced in a lot of areas. Yeah. And they've got a lot more choice in a few areas as well. But
do you think putting Kevin Walters' cap on and we're discussing the possibility of Morgan playing 1, if that happens, does he think, fuck, I don't want to see that happening because I want him in the halves? Do you think that's a detriment if he ends up playing the next 2 months? Well, I guess it's not going to happen. If it happens this week,
be back.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Coote will be
I guess
back.
we can sort of snuff that out.
Yeah, but I also don't think it would matter too much, to be honest. I think Walters wouldn't care. I think.
Yeah, I guess how many guys do you see like they play fullback and then English moves to centre or wing, something like Boyd,
right.
wing constantly, whether he's playing fullback or centre.
That's right. Does Boyd get picked this year in Origin? I don't think so, man. Because when he was younger, he was picked on the wing because of his speed, but he doesn't have the legs anymore. Mm-hmm. So is he worth being on the wing anymore? When you've got players like Valentine Holmes and Corey Oates and a few other guys in there that really put their hand up. Gagai, you can't leave Gagai out.
Yeah.
Players like that, I've got to say, I think Boyd might. That's a question. We'll put that out to the viewers if anyone wants to tell us what you reckon. Does Boyd have a spot in Origin this year?
Yeah, maybe that's a cheeky post we'll put up on the page, eh?
Yeah.
So you get some discussion.
And that's assuming that everyone's fit for
Yep.
the back line.
Yep.
Maybe even just post your back line.
Yeah.
1 to 7.
Beautiful.
Tell us what you reckon. But the Knights, man, I'm just loving Callum Ponga at the moment. I'm on the Knights bandwagon massively at the moment. I love him.
Yep.
I love the underdog story. I love Nathan Brown. He's fucking awesome. I'm starting to like Mitchell Pearce, even,
He just looks like he's having fun again. He's like,
relaxed.
fuck it, man. Fuck this social circle bullshit and this expectation now. And
yeah, no, they're just playing footy, man. And they're 2 from 2 and they're riding high. So
they've got to isolate that left edge defence for the Roosters. They've got to try and put some defensive pressure on Reece Robinson.
Yeah.
And try and wreak some havoc there.
Manu
and try and get
Robinson.
Latrell Mitchell biting in.
Yeah.
Because he can do that.
He can do that.
He can do that.
Yeah, he can, for sure.
But I guess my concern is that Sean Kennedale's that man, and fuck, he's rocks or diamonds, old SKD. Fucking hell.
Yeah, that's the fucking understatement of the century.
Can ruin an anytime try score a bet.
Yeah. Speaking from experience, obviously, Benny.
Guilty.
But yeah, how many players? We've got 1, 2, 3, I think there's 4 players there that used to play for the Roosters. So, we've got a lot of mates.
Connor Watson's got to stand up. He's been quiet.
He's been quiet. Yeah, he has been quiet. I thought he was a bit better last.
He's improving.
Yeah.
But I think he's really, I think I mentioned it in the review by myself at the start of the week, with Ponga playing that second receiver so positively.
Yeah.
He's
what
do I do?
Yeah. I think Ponga's going to be in a 6 jersey in the next couple of years, I reckon.
Yeah, mate. It might even be longer than that.
It might be longer. And you don't
we
want to
might
waste
see
him
that classic 1 to 6.
I think we will. I think we will see that classic lock-in move.
Yep.
He's just so dangerous at the line. Yeah. His ball playing, it's amazing.
He's a freak.
I can't get over how good he is, man. So
it's good.
Has he declared himself for Origin?
I think he has, man.
For who? Queensland?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I mean, is he in the frame this year?
Nah.
Too early?
Yeah, way too early, man. I think we get too excited.
What about? Yeah, I know we get excited. I'm getting excited, but if we see over the next few weeks, man, like if he just keeps dominating for another 4, 5, 6 weeks, do we then go? Oh, it's not too early anymore.
But where do you put him though? You're gonna fucking kick Slater out?
No, you're not. But you could play him on the wing instead of Boyd. Although he's not a winger, is he?
Nah.
I don't know. I just want him in the team.
We just picked 17 fullbacks.
We've got enough of them at the moment, eh? Oh, yeah.
Deary me.
But now, look, serious tip. Roosters will win, I think.
Yep.
I think it's pretty much certain that they will win. But Knights, this is a good test for them, good litmus test for them to see where they're at.
100%. I think that's Brown pretty much echoed that in the
will
interview.
Be their attitude.
That's what he wants to see.
That will be their attitude.
Be fucking competitive, though.
I think he even said, we probably won't win.
Yeah, I think he did say that. Yeah, crazy.
Which is
brutal honesty.
It really is, but the boys
Who
might
gives
go
a
out
shit?
there.
I like it.
They'll go
I respect that.
They'll go out there free.
Doesn't mean you can't think like you want to win.
Yeah.
There's a difference between thinking you win and wanting to win.
That's right. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think he'd be telling them, just stay in the contest. And if they're within,
the last 20 minutes is going to be a
20.
big test. Like
That's
if
right.
all of a sudden the Roosters score 3, 4 tries in the last 20, fuck, we still got some fundamentals that we need to work on.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Well, I think we've penciled in another week in the books.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. I know your schedule's changing up a little bit next week, but who knows? Maybe we'll try and do maybe like a Wednesday night PM or something like that. And so stay tuned. I'll endeavour to try and have some planning around some times that we may end up doing this one. But otherwise, I'll probably be kicking it solo at the start of next week. I'll review everything round 3 in the NRL.
Yeah.
Righty, gang. We'll put up that question. Let's find out. Darius Boyd, yay or nay? Cool. Righty, gang. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your footy. We are out. For going off, buddy.